Hi, I'm Didi, and today I want to talk about something that so many of us struggle with silently: receiving. Whether it's love, support, compliments, money, kindness, or even just ease, we often find it so hard to receive, although it's the very thing we want. But first, I want to tell you a story. Recently, I received a text from a good friend of mine inviting me on a beautiful trip for 4 days. She says amazing property, everything paid for, and I only need to arrange my flights. She wrote, it would be a relaxing few days, some activities, and my friend is arranging it and she is magic. You know what happened? As much as I felt excitement when I read the text, I felt so uncomfortable. That's too much. After a few messages to clarify back and forward, I paused, breathed, and texted her back. Oh my God, yes, it feels so uncomfortable to receive and I'm leaning in. Thank you. Now, it's not the first time. I've always been the giver and it felt safer and normal to give. But when somebody offered their time, effort, generosity, I usually shrink. Because receiving feels like weakness or guilt or losing control, and I know that I'm not alone. So let's dive into the psychology behind before I give you a few practices to expand your capacity to receive. Why do we struggle to receive? Therapists and psychologists have long observed that receiving is harder than giving for many people. And it shows up not just with gifts, but with compliments, with help, with care, emotional support, and someone simply listening. So why is it so hard? Many people feel they haven't earned the kindness or support offered to them. The more thoughtful the gesture, the more uncomfortable it feels because it conflicts with their view of themselves as worthy of it. It is not rejection of the gift per se, it's the rejection of the implied worth. And then there is the childhood conditioning. For many of us, it's how we were raised. We were taught that giving is better, giving is good, that we should be helpful, we should be generous, we should be selfless. Especially as women, we are often praised for being nurturing, for being caring, for being supportive. But no one really teaches us how to receive with grace, how to say yes without guilt, how to allow goodness in without thinking we must repay or prove something in return. In addition, we were raised with performance-based love. Often we are told, be good, only good girls or boys get treated, be good and Santa will give you presents, you should be grateful, don't ask for more. So we learned very early on that receiving is conditional and it is tied to behavior, to doing, not to being. And then there is the psychological wiring, the control vulnerability issue. When we give, we are in control. Receiving, on the other hand, that means surrendering. It means letting someone else be strong, letting ourselves to be seen. For those of us raised to be self-sufficient, self-reliant, asking or receiving can feel like failure. This is still one of my main patterns. Next one is fear of obligation. Many people avoid receiving because it feels like a transaction. What will I owe now? Are there strings attached? We've been taught there is no such a thing as free lunch, meaning it's not possible to get something for nothing. Now, how is this showing up in real life? You brush off compliments, you refuse help, you say no, I've got this. You undercharge, you over-deliver, you give in relationships but you rarely receive. Even when you're overwhelmed, you say, I got this, I'm fine. And the result? You say you want love, abundance, visibility, but you energetically block it. What's the cost of not receiving? The cost of not receiving is that we burned out, we grow resentful, we get stuck in cycles of overdoing, overgiving, overproving, and we create imbalance in our relationships. Because life, love, and abundance are always trying to flow to us. But when we don't receive, we block that flow. You know the saying, ask and it's given. Receiving requires allowing, and when we refuse to receive, we break the energetic circuit. We deprive ourselves of the joy of giving. We push away the very connection that we crave. And you know the paradox? The paradox is that the people who most struggle to receive are often the ones who deeply long to be seen, to be loved, to be supported. But by pushing it away, they never experience what they desire most. Wisdom traditions knew that. In Buddhism, there is no separation between givers and receivers, just the ongoing sacred exchange of life energy. Giving and receiving are the same current. Block one, you block the other. How do we break this pattern? Here are evidence-based practices to expand your capacity to receive. First, notice the moments. Next time when someone compliments you, say thank you. Let somebody carry your bag. Let somebody open a door for you. Let somebody help you. And notice when you resist. Breathe through it. Notice. Second, reframe receiving as giving. Receiving is a gift to the giver. It shows them they matter. And when you receive gracefully, you're actually giving the other person the gift of feeling valued, effective, connected to you. Receiving is giving. Number 3, notice your pattern. Journal on this one. Ask yourself, what stories do I believe about receiving? I owe them. I should handle this myself. It's too much. I don't deserve this. Where did they come from? Are they really true now? And what do I believe it says about me? Where in my life do I block receiving? Awareness is always the first step to change. Number 4, cultivate your feminine energy. Regardless of your gender, feminine energy is the receptive side of you. It's soft, intuitive, allowing, and most of us are underdeveloped in giving and undernourished in receiving. And practice being instead of always doing. Let go of control, trust more. 5, the yes challenge. For 1 week, say yes to every reasonable offer of help, kindness, or support. And notice how it feels. Notice how the world responds. Number 6, work on self-worth. You can't receive what you don't believe you deserve. When in mature feminine energy, we trust our intuition and we love ourselves. Our self-worth is no longer dependent on external validation. Now, when I started this video, I told you about my struggling to receive, and I still do, although I've done work. However, now I understand that my discomfort is just a message, and it shows me a learned pattern, and what's learned can be unlearned. So now every time when somebody offers me help and I feel this familiar discomfort, I recognize it as an opportunity to practice trust and vulnerability. The first thing I say is, thank you, universe. And ultimately, giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin of intimacy. When we learn to receive, we don't just help ourselves, we complete the circle of love. Receiving is not selfish, it's how we deepen connection. And now, a reminder, we are all worthy of receiving, not because we've earned it, simply because we exist. We're whole and complete exactly the way we are. So here is my invitation for you. This week, practice receiving. Let somebody help you. Accept a compliment. Ask for what you need. Breathe every time when you feel uncomfortable and if you feel like you want to run, because of the other side of this moment is connection, and that's what we are here for. And now I would love to see you in the comments. What's the hardest thing for you to receive? Let's normalize this. I'm looking forward to see your comments, and I'll be here next Tuesday. If you like this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and see you next week. Bye!